welcome back to the Director's Garage. I am your host and resident idiot, Michael, and today this is a landmark show. This is an episode where we take a look at some of the mistakes I've made along the way, and there have been some pretty big ones.
Please!
And we're going to take a look at some of the times when I actually learned something important. We're going to revisit some of the moments that make this show, well, a little off the beaten path, shall we say. That's generous. And we're going to take a look into the future, where things might be heading, and the things I would like to do going forward. So, folks, welcome to episode 1. And I gotta ask, have you guys been digging the live streams? Have you noticed? Have you been clicking in? We're having a blast on those things. Now, this episode kind of got here before I was ready. And that may not make a lot of sense, but I try to time these big numbered episodes, the major landmarks, with a big purchase or something of note, something of consequence, something major. Episode 50, for instance, was the Stax SR009S episode. And the plan for this one was to have the Stax SRX9000 right here, which clearly it's not. And the reason is I would have had to have made some sales to make that purchase possible. For instance, the Phonitor X DAC edition, which is still for sale. Great amp. K&N8, that's for sale. The Drop Mr. Speakers Dan Clark Audio CX Closed Edition with a cherry on it. There are any number of sales in the Director's Garage that might get a good head start toward that pricey new Stax. I just haven't sold anything yet. So, you know I love a surprise, and I've got a major one here for this episode. I'm going to be telling you about 4 upcoming headphones from Noble Audio. And no one, and I mean no one, knows about these. This is a Director's Garage exclusive. Now, Noble, as you know, they've been a strong supporter of the channel, and I met John Moulton, the audiologist who founded the company, back around episode 35 or so, in one of my very favorite episodes, where I got to pick his brain about how he comes up with his tunings and decides on his driver lineups and what makes a Noble Audio IEM so special. And John, as you know, he sent me a pair of these custom K10Ls, these gorgeous headphones that he himself designed, and they are just a thing of beauty. Man, the workmanship, the craftsmanship, the attention to detail, and the finish, second to none. And the K10, this model right here, is sort of the inspiration for one of the 4 headphones I have the honor of announcing today. So let's get right to them and dive in. The first up is the Cadence, with a K, a striking design that John likens to the surface of one of those deluxe bowling balls. Love the bowling ball effect. Now, John was playing with some of these composite resins long before the other manufacturers even thought about it. And the Cadence features 8 balanced armatures per side, and John says it kind of shows off how far the all-balanced armature headphone has come since that iconic K10 design. What makes this headphone unique is, for the first time, Noble is mixing and matching their balanced armatures. Now, several of the drivers are the standard Knowles BAs. Those are very high quality, very good drivers. But Noble is adding drivers from rival Sonyon into its makeup for this headphone. It's the first time we're seeing mixed manufacturers implemented into an IEM. The Cadence will retail for around $1,600. It's right in that K10 pocket. Now, next up is the Jade, and these are a special headphone. They're named after John's oldest daughter. And these are gorgeous, and they're Jade, guys. It's named the Jade. Okay. But look at the attention to detail, and look at the gold inlay. It's spectacular. Now, these are 5 driver IEMs featuring 1 dynamic, 2 Sonyon balanced armatures, and 2 proprietary drivers commissioned by Noble. It's kind of mysterious. These are going to list at $1,200, and John says they feature kind of a natural or reference tuning. Now, number 3 is the D12 with Roman numerals. It's a pretty interesting look with its red flaked metal flowing through the resin and carbon fiber shards. It features a 12mm driver that makes all the sounds. The D12 is a bargain. It lists at just $600. Super looking forward to hearing these. Now this last IEM is pretty exciting. It's called the Kublakhan. Now you've heard of the regular Noble Khan. This one kind of like shoots past it into more that Summit-Fi area. Now check out the stunning inlays. And it features 4 Knowles balanced armatures and I love them for doing this, a bone driver. And you know I'm gonna buy it just because I love saying bone driver. And it's got a piezoelectric up top. Not really sure what that is. I didn't get a chance to ask him about that, but this is a kind of going for broke situation in an IEM. It's going to be more in the top tier at about $2,500 or so. But again, these 4, all of them, exude Noble quality everywhere you look. These 4 new IEMs will make their official debut at CanJam Singapore, but of course you're getting your first look at them right here on the Director's Garage today in episode... I'm so thrilled to get to show these to you and give them their world debut. And those are your headlines for today. So I want to start today with something spicy for episode 100. And I think I'm going to begin with the things I got wrong. And I think if I could take anything back, a full mulligan, a do-over, it would be my review of the ZMF Verite Openback. I think that whole review was a misstep. And I was still trying things back then. I was learning and developing the idea of the Director's Garage, but I wasn't ready to take that headphone on. I didn't have enough experience. I still may not, just saying. I'm an idiot. But I'd likely have a different appreciation for that headphone today, I think. I hadn't yet worked out the format of the show. I didn't have the categories all straightened out. And I didn't have enough headphones under my belt to jump to that top tier headphone and give it a fair assessment. I certainly didn't have an appreciation for what it was doing well and where it was falling short. And I just wonder if I listened to that headphone today, the ZMF Verite Openback, if I wouldn't come up with a different conclusion for it. I'm sorry, Zach, I owe you one. That was a huge blunder on my part, and I paid dearly for it. I purchased the ZMF at full retail. I had it custom designed the way I wanted it. I was lusting over it. I lost my shirt, though, on resale. I think I lost like $1,500 on that headphone. It really taught me to look for deals and buy used. I feel sorry for these folks that are trying to sell their very expensive custom headphones. They just don't have the resale value of anywhere near their list price. Don't just love a guy beating up on himself for no good reason. Well, let's move on. Another thing I got wrong was the cord debacle. Now that was a disaster of my own creation. Now what happened was I had seen a YouTube video where someone was switching an M scaler in and out of a signal path. And they were playing it back through a pair of loudspeakers, and the differences in sonics were amazing. I mean, I was blown away by this. So I thought, well, I'm going to try that. So I got the M scaler and the Hugo TT2, and I wired it direct into a digital audio workstation and recorded the outputs using the M scaler and without. And honestly, I couldn't tell a difference at all. I mean, I was listening and nothing. So I think it left people with the impression that I was somehow unhappy with the chord rig, and that's just not the case. It's spectacular. I just couldn't replicate this really cool thing I'd seen on another video, but I wanted to do that exercise using my own production sensibilities and kind of jazz it up a little visually. And when it didn't work out, I had spent so much time doing it, I just didn't want to trash the entire episode. So against my better judgment, I just kind of put it out there. And that was probably a mistake and a disservice to you all. So what have we learned in our 100 episodes? Well, this show started because I did something stupid. I got caught out purchasing 3 ridiculously expensive IEMs, and I took to YouTube to confess my sins. And as it turned out, I'm not alone. We've all been doing it. But that's been the joy of doing this channel. It's interacting with you all and realizing I ain't alone. I just lacked any of the shame to step up and admit it. Now, one last thing that I consistently get wrong is the length of the show. These episodes need to be coming in at under 20 minutes, and I've got to start editing myself more. Part of this is my own neuroses of trying to jam more content into a show because I think that particular episode is too niche and lacks a broader appeal. It's a constant work in progress on that front, but more than 20 minutes is too great an ask for anyone. Now let's talk about a few of the things that I think this show gets right. And I think one big thing is bringing music back into the headphone equation. We pour over so much data and technical stuff that we forget to listen and appreciate the music, which to my way of thinking is where the main emphasis should be placed. Now, one upcoming episode, and this was a viewer recommendation, is called the Random Record Review, where I pull a blind album out of my collection of 2000 to 3000 and I tell you a little bit about it. I talk about where it came from, why I bought it, what interested me about this record, and I'll see what I can remember about the history of the recording. And of course, I love telling stories about artists and breaking down albums and sounds and recordings and how we got here, and tell the stories about the people and the eras that made a difference in what we hear today. All this stuff we hear today comes from the past, and there are through lines and threads that have fascinating stories behind them if you just pull them and see what shakes loose. And I stand by the idea that this is a hobby and we need to have fun with it and stop taking ourselves so seriously. And here's a short compilation of the times I tried to not take this hobby quite so seriously. We finally get to talk about ZMF head pads and
Attention! This is the YouTube police.
today it is a shoot. Son of a biscuit, they fired back! So, power up. It does indeed. It is gorgeous. Oh, shit! Okay, it landed on something soft. Here's the record right here. But really, we gotta talk about power. Today it is shootout time. They missed me. Why don't you just tell them? Hey everyone, good to see you again. And the wind just blew my door open. It's like a ghost entered the room. It's so freaky. But seriously, I've done bet that if I threw this in the bathtub, it'd float. We all float down here. And then you've got a little cleany tool. Either that or my eyebrows need a little. That was bad, sorry. And today we have a title fight on our hands. 3 pounds of unnecessary aluminum. I do wish Visioneers had included a lighter soft case for everyday use, but if you throw this one in a sock, you can get your Steven Seagal on if you're into that kind of thing. Whoa! Anyone smell smoke? You could do the other thing. If you think a lightning strike is a befitting end to your resident idiot. I do like to have fun. I always say this, I'm an acquired taste, and there are people out there that hate this show with a passion, and I can't say that I blame them. But it's the show that I want to do. It's my voice, and there are plenty of other headphone and audiophile and music shows out there with a more rigid, strict approach. I get to tell stories the way I want to tell them, and sometimes with annoying sound effects and cheesy visuals. But I'm entertaining myself as much as I'm hopefully entertaining you guys. Now, I do want to say a special thanks to you guys, and I don't do this enough, but you guys are the reason we got to episode... and we're getting very close to 4,000 subscribers. It's your subscriptions that help get this show to the next level, where we might be able to afford picking up some of these uber elite products that bring you guys to the channel in bigger numbers. One other big thank you goes out to my partners. And I say partners because these are folks who haven't supported the channel directly with cash or advertising. But they've kept the Director's Garage stocked with mystery boxes that make up some of those more entertaining episodes of the Director's Garage. And the first is Audio 46. Now, when Audio 46 first contacted me, Tony said he got a kick out of what I was doing on the show, and he'd like to see if we couldn't work together and help each other out. Now, to me, this was a great situation because I just wanted shit to unbox, and I had this idea of doing it blind, where I don't know what's coming. I think Tony thought I was a bit crazy at first, and to be fair, Audio 46 had never done a partnership that amounted to actual sales for them, so we both kind of took a chance on each other. See, Tony provided the discount code, Director's Garage, all one word. You type that in at checkout, and you get an extra 5% off most of the items they carry. Now, I don't know retail, but I do know that you all have used that code over the past year to purchase more than $50,000 worth of gear from Audio 46. And that's pretty crazy given that they've never had a partner amount to much in the way of sales. From my perspective, this benefits everyone. You get a discount through the show. You also get to support the channel. But you also get an actual product for supporting the channel, as opposed to just giving me cash through Patreon or a membership or something. While also, you're supporting Audio 46, a small business in New York City. How great is that? Now, my other partner is Linsell and Lillian Dang. Now, I don't have a discount code for you there, but you can support the channel by going to Linsell through the affiliate link below and picking up the latest and the fantastic gear coming out of Asia. And again, just the best people. Lillian Dang has been kind and wonderful every step of the way. She was the first retailer to step up, and it feels good to be in a partnership with people who care about their customers. So a shout out to Linsell. Now, I've had a few comments about how I'm always mentioning Audio 46 and Linsell. Yeah, I do mention them often, but the reality is we don't get to episode without them. I also have Amazon links below, and if you use one of them, even if you don't purchase what is directly linked below, you buy something else, that still supports the channel as long as you click the link to take you to Amazon. Now, it doesn't cost you anything. Amazon just sends a small percentage as a thank you for the referral. At some point, I will do memberships on the show, but for now, I like the idea that you get an actual product while you support the channel at the same time. So what can I tease? What's coming? Well, I have a huge surprise for you guys on the source side, and I'm not sure when this is going to happen, but it's kind of in the near-ish future. What's this?
Get out!
Okay. I also have more of these like short-term and long-term goals as far as things I want to buy, purchases, things that I'm curious about, things I find interesting. Hopefully you will too. And I also think I'm going to be doing more live streaming as a way to push out more content to you guys, because these episodes take so long to edit, and they're the focus, but the live stream is another way to kind of get additional episodes and content out to you guys. Currently, I'm eyeing Wednesdays as a goal, so check on Wednesdays in the afternoon to see if there's going to be a hangout on that day. I won't be able to do it every week because of work, but this won't be a hangout for answering big, huge technical questions. It's going to be more like a place where we can kick back with a beverage and talk shit and BS with each other and have some fun. definitely fun-focused, a place where you can click in and hang out with your friends. I'm calling it the Hump Day Happy Hour Hangout, the 4 H's for now. I also have to shore up and figure out a way to do some memberships, but all these things take effort, and most of the time I'm just trying to push the next episode out the door. But something like that and merch, I have some great ideas for t-shirts that would be so cool. I think you guys would love them. So that's episode. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this look back into the crazy, and I hope it sets up where we're going in the episodes ahead. I'll be back with a blind Audio 46 unboxing in the next episode. And I'll ask you to subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell and do all the things so you don't get that FOMO. And I will see you before you know it.